आज सखी सद्गुरु घर आए, आज सखी सद्गुरु घर आए। मेरे मन आनंद भयोरी, आज सखी, आज सखी, आज सखी। दर्शन से सब पाप विनाशे, दर्शन से सब पाप विनाशे, दुख दरिदर सब दूर गयो री। दर्शन से सब पाप विनाशे, दुख दरिदर सब दूर गयो री। अमृत वचन सुनत तम नाशो, अमृत वचन सुनत तम नाशो, घट भीतर प्रभु पायलियो री। आज सखी सद्गुरु घर आए, मेरे मन आनंद भयोरी। आज सखी, आज सखी, आज सखी। जन्म जन्म के संशय टूटे, जन्म जन्म के संशय टूटे, भव भय ताप मिटाय गयो री। ब्रह्मानंद दास दासन को, ब्रह्मानंद दास दासन को, चरण कमल लिपटाय रख्यो री। आज सखी सद्गुरु घर आए, मेरे मन आनंद भयोरी। आज सखी, आज सखी, आज सखी।
ओम सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurureva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. The Shanti mantra for this. Om Apyayantu Mamangani Vak Pranaschakshuhu Shrotramatho Balamindriyani Cha Sarvani Sarvam Brahma Upanishadam Maham Brahma Nirakuryam Brahma Nirakarot Anirakaranam Astu Anirakaranam Me Astu Tadatmani Nirate Ya Upanishadsu Dharmaha Te Mayi Santu Te Mayi Santu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. In the second chapter, we are in the third mantra or fourth mantra. Awesome. Yes, we finished the third mantra. Open to the fourth mantra. What page number is it on? 123. Page number 123. Pratibodha viditam matam Amritatvam hi vindate Atmana vindate viryam Vidyaya vindate mritam. Repeat after me again. Pratibodha viditam matam Amritatvam hi vindate Atmana vindate viryam Vidyaya vindate mritam. Pratibodha viditam matam. This is the true test of spiritual experience and evolution. We either have studied too many wrong concepts or have watched too much of Avatar, the airbender, that our concepts are so messed up that suddenly we feel that somebody who is well experienced with the core of their own existence or divinity has to look like something spectacular, that there is something oozing out, radiating, and there is aura around them. Well, we sannyasis anyway have a lot of marks like the airbenders. Mark insignia to say that they are awesomely experienced, rooted in their own self. Somebody who has realized doesn't have to be a spectacle. Somebody who has mastered their way through does not have to appear like something very unique. He can be most commoner than the commonest. See, when Gurudev used to walk through any busy environment, his stature, his walk, it grabbed the attention. That anybody, like I've seen it happen in airports, railway stations, that as soon as he steps out with this royal, personality, people would feel like moving aside and folding their hands. That was Gurudev. Have you ever been with Guruji? Puja Guruji? And it is the most amazing, my sense of cuteness, when you see him walk out of the airport. He's like unassumingly, a small stature person who walks out with his carry-on, and he just walks out, stands there, for people to recognize. Oh, where is Guruji? Go find him, and then he walks out. There is no air about him, like unless somebody who would see that entourage of people that have come to receive him and say, "Who is he? I traveled with him. I didn't know that he was such a celebrity. He was such a well-known man." On one hand, there is Gurudev. On the other hand, there is Guruji. Both did travel job. On the other hand, there is the Parama Guru Swami Tapovan Maharaj, who refused to move out of the place, who stayed there in Uttarakashi. Similarly, when we see Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, an unassumingly eccentric person. On the other hand, this young, dynamic, charming personality around him, Vivekanandji. 18 Sishyas, each one of them was such an amazing, unique character. Amazing in their presence. And behind them, somewhere in the corner, would be their Guru standing. Unless they show that he is our Guru, the people would think that he is some madcap. He would dress, he would look like that. Now, walking in streets in India, there's so many such unassuming. We don't even know that they have such profound experience. So it has got nothing to do with the externalities as to how they appear. The experience is that profound. And to put it in a very gross manner, from the externalities, when you look at a person, can you make out if that person is sumptuously fed and that he may not be hungry? From the externalities, unless they are into the Somalian kind where they are famished for days at end, it's not that obvious. Even if somebody is full, had the sumptuous meal, you would not know if the person had food or not, because it is that subjective. So what exactly is this experience then? That which cannot have external parameters to decide that the person is evolved. Suddenly do they grow by an inch or by a foot? If that be the case, Nishad should already have been there. Right? He's tallest among here. Or has it got something to do with, width, if not height, or shortness of height? We have all varieties. It has got nothing to do with those external parameters. Because it is that subjective. How do we understand what realization actually means? I've said this many times. One of the most unique ways that somebody ever defined this experience of realization was this great master that I believed, and I still believe, not believed meaning in past tense, I still believe that he is reveling in that stature. So one day I was sitting with him, and we were in a very casual conversation. So I asked him, how does this experience of realization feel like? And he gave me a very unique standpoint. He said, it is a very demystifyingly humbling experience. Demystifyingly humbling experience. And I didn't understand. What do you mean by that? So I was assuming that realization would have, there's some mystical thing. It was demystifying. It was nothing like that. And humbling, why do you say so? So he gave me an example. You have your glasses on right on your nose, and you are searching for it frenetically. And you're blaming everybody in the house. Nobody keeps things where they should be, and how many times did I tell you not to move my things? Yelling at some weakling in the family who cannot respond back to you, shouting at them, picking on them. They appear in front of you. What are you screaming about? My glasses! And instead of answering, they look at you amused. It's right there on your nose. At that point, is there some kind of a glow on your face? Eureka! I found my glasses. Isn't it an experience wherein you feel humbled? Similarly, that which is so obvious but not experienced, once experienced, you only beat yourself and say, how could I not see this? I get across. And since that experience completely evaporates the individuality, they don't find it necessity to go outside and advertise, hey, I am now realized. Do my Pada Puja. No need. Because that individuality has merged. And they don't expect to be worshipped, nor expect to be censured. So how is that experience? Because it is a very intense subjective experience. To put it in words, many times it is not easy. And that is where Upanishad, it has another word, it says that it is very direct in its message. What does the Upanishad say? Pratibodha viditam matam. Many of those who have experienced it truly say that it is pratibodha viditam. That which is experienced every process of cognition. Definitely there is one phase of our life, I love that phase, where we have no cognition. Deep sleep. Are we aware that we are sleeping? We are not aware of it. None whatsoever. If somebody says that, yes, I am asleep, claims that, if you are already asleep, how can you claim it? That's one phase wherein there is no cognition possible. That where there is cognition, which is the waking world. And this is such a, how do you say, a radical thought. What is realization? Every process of cognition is a pointer towards realization. Pratibodha viditam matam. Bodham bodham prati. Now in the process of our experiencing the world, where is our standpoint? Where are we? When we experience the world, we are eagerly looking for something. someone, like you walked into this room and you saw a lot of faces. But where did you finally end up sitting? You find a familiar face. Ha! And then you sit. You are also invited to sit next to. The couple of you who are new to this environment, aren't you? And I can look at your neighbor and say that, oh, you must have been environment by this person sitting next to. You need that familiarity, right? You're looking for that familiarity. Suddenly everybody is new. You're like sitting in one corner, like, I don't know what is this. You feel awkward. You feel as an odd one out. You search for some familiarity. You search for something that you know, that you can relate to. You search for something that you are well accustomed to. You go into a restaurant, you're flipping through that menu. It's a new time, first time that you're going. And the names are all new. You don't know what to order. And you see something sizzling being taken. So you wait for that fellow to pass by. And say, hey, what was that? Have you done such things? My whole experience in US was like that. The first time I go to Starbucks. And it's a very confusing menu chart that they have. For a simple South Indian who knows nothing but a filter coffee. And you come in there, in the name of coffee, there is like a whole chart. A cappuccino, frappuccino. And now they have added tea. And redundantly, they have added tea, chai, latte. Or tea, matlab chai. What are you saying? Tea, chai. So you stand there, I was gazing, and I said, okay, let me do one thing. Let me look at 2 or 3 samples go by. So I stood, and they were all weirded out because in those days I used to wear yellow robes. So a yellow fellow standing there, new to, in fact, that lady out there even, called out on me, can I help you? I said, no, you cannot. Sure about it. I don't even know what I can ask for help. I was observing. Everybody wants a tall. I said, but I don't think I can handle tall. So I go there and first fumbling. I said, small. You mean tall? Why? Small. I said, tall. It is only later that I understood there that the smallest is called tall. Confusing. And then pretty soon I understood that in this country, everything has to go in that rhythm of things. They have to be cut short and said in that specific tagged pattern. You go to a restaurant and ask, please get me a glass of water with no ice in it and some lemon also on the side. He said, what? He'll get confused. You say water, no ice, lemon, he'll understand. You put it in a sentence, he'll be lost. So I stood there trying to gauge, trying to understand what to order. I finally managed to communicate what I wanted. And then she finally threw a curveball at me. And it was an old African American lady working on the other side. She said, for you to go. I had a blank look on my face. Coming straight from India, if somebody said, for you to go. And the for here to go, that for is already swallowed. It's like here to go. I said, pardon? Here to go. It didn't make sense. There is no karta, karma, kriya in it. There is no subject, object, verb. So, what do I make sense of it? Whatever I understood that day, I said, I'll have it here and definitely go. So she had a big smile on her face. And I said, are you coming in here for the first time? I said, yes. I understand, honey. I said, and then I'll take care of you. And then she got the cup, and then she showed me the place to sit. And now I'm an expert. I take people and I'll tell them about things that are not in the chart as well. Sometimes the barista standing on the other side is confused. What are you ordering, sir? I don't think we have. Ask your senior; they'll know it. Have you ever tried? My combination is triple espresso campana. Have you ever tried? It will not be there on the list. It will be bitter, utterly bitter. I'm an expert in it. You have familiarity. When you're not familiar, you're awkwarded out. So in all this gamut of constantly knowing, relating, associating yourself with the environment, where are we? We are constantly lost in trying to get a grasp at that which I'm trying to relate with. Sometimes when it is overwhelming, even in a coffee shop, it unsettles you. Every experience, whether it is with interacting with a friend, interacting with your associates, interacting with your college professors, constantly there is an evaluation process of trying to grasp the outside. In this gamut, what do I become? More and more closer away from myself. I'm not rooted here. Let me tell you with an example. Have you ever tried plucking a fruit or a mango or something hanging on a tree from your balcony, reaching out and plucking? You tried it? If not that, maybe you're on a stool in your kitchen and trying to reach to that corner one. Or somewhere up there, you're trying to reach. In that effort to reach, it has happened many times to me. Especially in the kite flying season, trying to grab that, go to the edge of the roof. And in that intensity to grab that, forget that I've leaned so much out that there is no more balance here, that I topple and fall. With almost every experience of ours, we are reaching out, not centered within. Therefore, what happens with every experience? It is a toppling experience. Constantly that which takes me away. By the end of the day, with so many experiences that I have gone through, with friends, there is a toppling experience, unsettling experience. Because I'm out there trying to reach without being centered within. That the focus is always outside. This is what is realizing. Is with every interaction, your standpoint is not on that which you're trying to reach, but you are centered within, firmly rooted. And being rooted, reach out, you have more flexibility to understand. And those of you who have a habit of messing around with your phones and gadgets, have you ever rooted your phones? That's why I'm looking only on that side. I don't know if this side has ever rooted their phones. Have you ever? You're going to tell me that this side also is telling me that you don't know what rooting means? No, jailbreaking for iPhone and rooting for Android. When you go there and break their basic restrictions, you have more freedom and feasibility. Something similar to root within, centered within. Where is your focus? That I am the observer, observing all the movements without becoming the movement. That is when actual fun in living begins. Otherwise, we are at the mercy of that which we are trying to associate or relate with. That if it tosses us, I am up. If it doesn't toss, I am down. Therefore, we say, how is life? Sometimes up, sometimes down. Another example probably that you can relate with. I caught this term when I was in California with one of our Swamijis who is also a surfer. Not a web surfer. He surfs in the ocean. So he got me the suit, the black one. So I also put on. I said, I don't know swimming. I said, don't worry, I'll take care. And I went there in. This was further northern California. I went in. As the speed with which I went in, double speed I came out. But the water was like about 48, 50 degrees. And that is not for me. Because ocean in my head has to be warm water. This is inviting. This is cold. I don't want to go there. No, you'll get used to it. I said, no, you go get used to it. I don't want to come. So while I was hanging out there, I was already decked up and looking, somebody like a surfer with a surfboard and with everything that you can imagine. So the people would come and talk in their lingo, and I would like shake my head as if I understood. Are you here to catch some waves? I said, yeah. And then that surfer Swamiji came outside. I said, what does this mean? Then he explained. We sat on the beach, and he explained. You go out there, and then you wait for the wave, and then you get onto your board, and you have to be careful that you have to have that balance. Catching a wave is when you can ride the wave without tumbling or falling. Bigger the wave that you catch, bigger is the experience. Deeper is the experience. Richness is higher. And richest experience, they say, is when you can catch the wave by being in it, but not sucked by it. Where they're going through, it's like a tunnel, and it's all rolling, and they're cruising through in between. If you are not careful, instead of you catching the wave catches you. At this moment, how are we? You're like me in swimming with regards to life. What do I know swimming? Yes, I know delayed sinking. That is my swimming. Yes, I can, but after a while I'll start sinking. And for such one who does not know how to swim, is on the board, does not know how to balance it, and is trying to catch a wave. And what will happen if there is even slightest disorientation? You get caught by the wave. Every experience seems to be like a wave that is catching and pulling us down rather than we riding the wave. For somebody who has for the entire lifetime has been caught by the waves again and again and again. You ask them, how is life? They have some pathetic answers. And to find a sense of how somebody is leading their life, one question is fine. You will know so much in details. How are you? The answers that come out are amazing. I would want to run with the pace of my life, but I feel so stuck with these, being caught by the wave of experience, along. I would want to, ride, but I'm just pulling along. This is better than the next one. The next one says, how are you? Hanging in there. And I translate all of these into Hindi for my understanding. Hanging in there, latak raha hu. Poor fellow. He is not walking, he is not running, he is not jumping with life. He is being like dragged to the edge, and now he is hanging in there. Now, for somebody who has lived life like that through and through, when they learn to find that balance, expertise in swimming, expertise in balance on that board, and they have caught the wave, and they're going through that wave, hasn't actual experience begun then? Having fun begins then. In the name of fun, what we end up doing, hanky-panky things, are not fun at all. It only leaves us dissipated, dilapidated by the end of the day. Pratibodha, with every experience, whatever life throws at you, you are eagerly waiting, ready. Come on, bring it on. I'm ready to ride this. And they're not ready to chicken out. They're eagerly waiting. Bigger the wave, bigger the challenge, bigger is the inspiration to take a dash at it. Why? They know that they have their rooting in the self. That the wave of the experience, I can ride it. Bodham prati. In every experience, in every walk of life, in any given environment, if the difficulties rise, they take it up as challenges and face it. Not scared, running away from it. Sometimes when you're not fully geared up, or you're not comfortable, and you're pushed into that environment, and how you suddenly, like, you're cringing, and I don't want to be here, I don't know, I'll be hit now. You'll be always in that fearful mode. There's nothing to fear for them, because whatever comes, I have the open-mindedness to face it, analyze it, and deal with it. That being rooted in the self, bodham viditam. Such is the experience of liberation. Liberated from what? Liberated from all the wrong notions, anxieties, fears, and wrong convictions. Such one experiences immortality, unending, unconditional joy. That's when the ride actually begins. Up until then, what we have lived is only called dragging through. And once you reach there, experiencing is profound. Sometimes when you don't focus, and those of you who are wearing glasses, you don't take time to take it out and clean it up. There's a lot of spots on it, and between those spots they're trying to find how to read, or how to. You take those glasses, clean it up for them, and put it back. Whoa, it looks more bright. The vision has changed. The first time, do you remember experiencing a three-dimensional movie, 3D movie? And they gave me a glass, that dark ones, and I was like the odd one out. Like, I don't need the glasses. And I was looking at it like, why is this movie like this? They said it was 3D, beautiful experience. Why is it like this? Then one of my cousin was sitting there. He said, when he gave me a top spin, he said, put that on. But I don't need it. I said, that is when you will experience. When I put that on, Ure! Suddenly the whole perception changes. It is the same world, it is the same kind of experiences they also go through, but they see that spark, that newness, freshness in every experience. It would be the same amount of work that you and I do, but they look forward for it. They don't cringe when it is Monday. I have to go. Why can't the weekend be a little more longer? I wish. And it is not even Tuesday, you're already looking forward for weekend. Why? During the week, there's so much of the same thing I have to do again and again. So one day, this mother was waking up her son. Said, Beta, wake up. You have to go to the school. Mom, no teacher likes me. Said, that's okay. Get up. You have to go to the school. No student also likes me. And the mom had it enough. She said, enough of cribbing. You are the principal, for God's sake. And that is how we are going through life. See, there is only one level that you can work with when you are working based off of your passion, that which you are passionate about. But that also fizzles out its oomph after a while, after you become, familiar with it. It loses its charm. Been there, done that. What is it that keeps you going? Is when you reach to that core. Understand this intellectually in your application, that the agitation is farther as I go away from my self. What do you call those round thing that on many children's park have those, they have 4 or 5 seats and it goes round and round. Teacup thingies, that goes round and round and round. When that thing is spinning, try this. You spin yourself there, stand up, and then spread yourself out. Spread yourself, hands out, and then slowly pull your hands in. Do you know what happens? When you pull yourself in, the spin goes faster. When you start spreading out, it slows down. Life becomes like that when you go away. That the charm in it slows down. When you center yourself, the same experience, it changes the brilliance of it. Once you understand this, Atmana Vindate Viryam. I've said this concept earlier too, because here specifically it is talking about inspiration. I'll talk about two other terms. One is to be instigated. Second is to be motivated. And third is to be inspired. I'll define it so that we can be on same page. Instigated, wherein somebody, for their own manipulative purposes, uses us and our resources for their benefit. We are doing the bad thing or the wrong thing. Sometimes we just want to, peer pressure. We want to get into the groove of that friendship. And they force us to get into it, and we say, okay, fine. We get instigated to do. In the court of law, the one who actually does it gets less of penalty than who instigate them to do it. Because the premeditated thought is of that person who made you do it. Instigation. It has repercussions. Motivation. It's an external source which enthuses me to do something, but as soon as I get away from that external source, that clarity or that enthusiasm wins away. I end up doing it. I cherish it, but it is not a good solution. It's not a permanent solution because it goes away as I get away from that source which is external. So you hear something good, you meet somebody, and they've done some tremendous things in their life. You feel motivated. I should also do something. How long does it last? The pep talk and few hours maybe, few days maybe, and then it goes back. Ask those who have done, these camps. While you're in the camp, you're gung-ho. Oh yeah. After the spiritual camp is done, 2 days, maybe 3 days, maybe 1 week. Yathasthanam pratisthapayami. Go back to the same old routine of life. Why? I don't know. That is not there. That oomph is gone. Because it was depending on something external. But when that clarity strikes in from within, when that understanding happens from within, you hit the jackpot. Then there is a constant source of that energy, enthusiasm, which cannot be lost, which cannot be shattered in spite of overwhelming externalities. That surge is called inspiration. Atmana vindate inspiration. When you understand the crux of this, even by understanding it, not just experiencing, you're far away from experiencing it, even by merely understanding it, you find that inspiration because the source is from within. And when you touch that experience, what you experience then is called immortality, because it is never to be lost again. That which is lost is mortal. That which cannot be lost again at all. Vidyaya vindate amritam. The first step is to know. Knowing is better than being ignorant. Next step is being is better than knowing. I go back to my favorite movie. You know which one, right? The Matrix. There he says, I know, says Neo. Says, knowing is not being. Try to be. Transcend the knowing. That which you have intellectually appreciated, that which you have intellectually grasped, now you have to experience it. And once that experience settles in, then there is no going back. There is no undoing it. Vidyaya vindate amritam. Through that, we attain that consistent, immortal, unbroken experience surge from within. That would be called the experience of realization. Did you understand it? Beware. The earlier mantra said, you know what it said, right? If you think that you know not. So connect with that and find that experience. We'll stop here. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om